Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Sincerely Cassandra XOXO, where we discuss beauty, femininity, wellness, and self-image. And welcome to my Beauty Secrets series, where we dissect the beauty and wellness routines of iconic women. As a disclaimer, this is meant to be inspirational and the opportunity to learn and implement elements of these women's lifestyles to enhance our own beauty. Please do not engage in unhealthy comparison. The goal is to be the most beautiful version of you. Now, let's get started. Megan Fox is an American actress who is known for her roles in the Transformers movies, Jennifer's Body, New Girl, and Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. More recently, she had a very public relationship with Machine Gun Kelly and was featured in a campaign for Skims, which is owned by her friend Kim Kardashian. Megan is reportedly a huge fan of high-end skincare brands like La Mer, Plated, and Osmosis Skincare. All of these brands are expensive, which is typical for movie stars. But that doesn't mean you can't achieve great results on a smaller budget. Check out my video on how to find skincare dupes for some tips. I also think that her healthy diet plays a big role in her beautiful complexion, but more on that later. Megan will also give herself a break from makeup from time to time, which also is good for the skin. It's pretty common to see her in just a glossed lip, bold mascara, shaped brows, and maybe tinted moisturizer in her everyday life. She also has said she will use Vaseline on her cheekbones and eyelids, which would probably act like a subtle highlighter that's actually good for the skin. She is also sensitive to sunscreen, which I imagine is really challenging, but she copes with this by trying not to go outside when the sun is the strongest. To figure this out, you can check the weather app on your phone and see when the UV index is strongest throughout the day in your area. If she has to wear sunscreen though, she uses La Roche-Posay and Thelios AC SPF 30 High Protection Fluid Extreme. If you're sensitive to most sunscreens, this might be worth trying, and it's affordable. For body care, Megan uses the cold-pressed organic grapeseed oil by Whole Foods. Grapeseed oil is moisturizing but also non-comedogenic, meaning it won't clog pores, and it's great for anti-aging. It's a really common ingredient in a lot of massage and body oil products. This is another affordable item that you can easily add into your beauty routine. Ideally, she gets weekly oxygen facials, but sometimes she can't fit them into her schedule. When I researched this topic more, I learned that there are several different types of oxygen facials, and it's unclear exactly which kind Megan has done. But the treatment involves having pressurized oxygen blown onto the face, usually with ingredients like hyaluronic acid and vitamins. Sometimes it's done alongside other types of treatments, but on its own, it instantly reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. As far as non-invasive cosmetic treatments go, this seems like a pretty low-risk one, and it piqued my curiosity. So if you've ever had an oxygen facial, please let me know what you thought and if it's worth it for me to try out sometime. When it comes to hairstyles, less is more for Megan Fox. She doesn't overcomplicate her look. She often wears her hair with the middle part either straight or wavy, either in loose retro curls as shown here, or maybe beachy waves. She'll also wear her hair up from time to time, but personally, when I think of Megan Fox, I always think of long, dark, flowing hair with a middle part. She also did this really sexy wet hair look at the VMAs in 2021. The celebrity stylist who created this look is Andrew Fitzsimmons, who is very well known in the world of Hollywood hair, and he actually has his own line of hair care and hairstyling products at Ulta, and it's one of the more affordable professional hair care brands. But aside from his own products, Fitzsimmons advises that we always use a heat protectant before heat styling, which is pretty obvious. There are a lot of them out there, so the choice is really yours, but I personally like the BTZ heat protector. And according to him, you should always be careful when towel drying your hair because if you're too aggressive, it can cause breakage. He recommends using a microfiber towel or even an old t-shirt to let hair dry in, and I would also add you should immediately comb your wet hair with a wide tooth comb before putting it in the microfiber towel or t-shirt. This is to prevent tangling. And lastly, a nutritious diet is key for healthy hair. This is what I was personally most curious about because Megan Fox is someone whose figure I have always admired and wondered about. First of all, she is always staying hydrated and drinking lots of water, 10 to 12 glasses a day. She also gave up drinking alcohol over 10 years ago and is completely sober. I really applaud her for this. Drinking can really age you, and it slows down your metabolism, and it can create a whole host of other problems. Personally, I love a good cocktail or hard seltzer every now and then, but I do minimize the amount I drink. If I'm going out with a friend, I may have anywhere from 1 to 3 drinks, or if I'm at a special event like a wedding, I'll indulge. But on a day-to-day basis, I don't drink, and I actually don't keep alcohol in my house 99% of the time because it's personally just too tempting for me to open a bottle of wine and have multiple glasses.
I quit drinking 5 years ago, and while I would love to say that I did it only for the fact that my life was a mess, if I'm being completely honest, I also noticed that I was looking very, very bad. I started researching what does alcohol do to your appearance, and I was shocked to find out that half of my problems would be gone if I just gave up alcohol.
But anyway, back to Megan Fox. She eats a high-protein diet, and she also cooks the majority of her own food. According to her ex-boyfriend, Machine Gun Kelly, when they were together and they'd order takeout, Megan would order sushi, which is still very healthy as far as takeout food goes. Her personal trainer was quoted saying she eats carbs, she just eats the right carbs. She has a low sugar diet. It's so sustainable, it's so moderate, she's not doing any zero this, zero that. She'll have protein, fiber, and a healthy fat every meal. She is living a low sugar lifestyle, definitely. She allegedly eats a lot of Japanese foods, like salmon and rice and miso soup as a lunch. She eats protein smoothies and fruit for snacks. According to her trainer, her favorite smoothie is the red smoothie, which is whatever berries are in season, chai tea, a scoop of protein powder, and a little bit of almond milk. For dinner, she'll eat something like quinoa and chicken. She's also a big believer in breakfast and likes to eat an egg white omelet or oatmeal. And if she's really craving a certain food or snack, she'll treat herself. It's really refreshing to see such a balanced and unrestricted approach to nutrition. Megan works out at least 3 days a week, with 2 of those days being intense workouts. She does resistance training and circuit training. Her trainer said that the circuits are done in 5 phases: a minimum 5-minute cardio warm-up, a lower body sculpting exercise, an upper body toning exercise, then an abdominal sculpting exercise, and finally a 5-minute cool down. She also uses a machine called the Helix Lateral Trainer. It's sort of like an elliptical, but it goes side to side, which sounds really hard. But it works more muscles than a regular elliptical, so I can see how it would be really effective. She also worked out during her pregnancy and returned to the gym within a few weeks after giving birth. Her trainer has said that she has become very consistent, which is ultimately the most important thing. And that concludes this episode of Beauty Secrets. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. I'll see you next time.